Hello guys, Beastie here for another YouTube video for y'all today, and I have some videos going to be coming out for you all, hopefully all this week. No promises they're all going to be this week, but hopefully all this week. I have four. One's this video right here. It's going to be about football. I cannot wait. I have another video that's going to talk about just a fun, weird topic that I had that's out of the blue, why I don't like TV shows or books. It's just going to be a fun ranting topic. I'm going to talk about some movies I like, TV shows I like, a couple books I like. Those are going to be great and fantastic. And I'm going to do two political videos. One of the lies by the media. That video is actually already made. I'm just gonna upload it. I just wanted to take a break from political uploads. I've been all political since the election. I wanted to take a break, so that's why I haven't uploaded that video yet. I will upload that one. And there's another political video I'll actually upload before that hasn't been made yet because it's more recent, more current. Like the media lies have happened over 4 years. And it's kind of my analyst over 4 years. So that one doesn't need to be dropped today. The other one was a current event that happened like over the weekend and stuff, so that's more current. I want to get that one out sooner, so that one actually might drop before my other one too. But I wanted to take a break from politics just for a minute because that's all I've uploaded since like 3 days before the election, right? So it's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks from the 2 weeks since the election. Just want to take a break. So let's talk about football, because honestly I haven't made like a football video since like week 1, and now that's not because I haven't been following football. I have followed it pretty much like I always do for the week 1. I mean, maybe a little less because of college and whatnot, so maybe I'm like viewing it a little bit less than normal, but yeah, that's pretty much been it. And I follow my fantasy teams because my fantasy teams are both doing really well, 8-2. My one league that I do with all my friends, the one's just a bunch of random people, I don't really care about it. The one with my friends though, for fantasy football, oh, it's really close. I lost week 1 by 10 points. It was my one loss, and I lost by 0.08 points. I lost by less than a 0.1 of a point. Like, how do you lose by 0.08 points, man? And that's been my only other loss. Those are my only 2 losses. I'm on like a 5, and that was week 3. So I've been on like a 5-game win streak right now. I'm 8-2, and I have the most points scored in my league. And I get lucky a little bit too because the least amount of points have been scored against me. So I get a little lucky too. But yeah, I'm winning my division. I'm hoping to make a good playoff run, and it's weird because my team has had to go through some serious changes. Like I had Saquon Barkley on my team. He's obviously out for the year, and I've had to make Austin Eckler went down. I had to switch him out. So yeah, both my main 2 running backs I planned for the season both gone. Had to get new running backs. Throwing in my backups weren't like great running backs. I have Ronald Jones that's playing every week, and I have James Robinson, which was actually a really nice pickup. He puts up pretty nice consistent points. My receivers though have been pretty good, but I'm not here to talk about fantasy. Let's talk football now. First, I'm just gonna get going. What's happened this past week, because this is insane. The really big thing I want to talk about is that Bills-Cardinals game. That was insane. I loved watching every single minute of it, and man, it was a heartbreaker at the end. Let me tell you. I know you're seeing the smile on my face. How can it be a heartbreaker? I mean, okay. So if you guys don't know me, first things first, I'm a Giants fan. Root for Giants over every other team. I have a Giants jersey actually right here. Just give me a second. Boom, Giants. And I'm the goofball that gets my name. I might be reversed in here, but I don't think it is. Yurden. I am a geek and does like Yurden. 74. Put myself on the Giants. I love the Giants. Put them before everyone else. Went to a Giants game with my grandmother. It was an absolutely awesome experience. Then it's the Bills, because my grandfather liked the Bills and my father likes the Bills. So of course the AFC team I root for is the Bills, and then all the other teams I root for is because I like specific players on the squads, not because I actually like the team. Like on the Chiefs, I like Pat Mahomes. It makes me easier to root for. Joe Burrow might be my favorite player in the NFL. So I root for, not even technically for Joe Burrow. For the Bengals, I just root for Joe Burrow. And the Chiefs, it's kind of Pat Mahomes. I just like seeing a dominant football team. I think it's really interesting to see why they're dominant. So that captivates me towards the Chiefs. But the Raiders are fun to watch this year. It makes them. So I just like interesting teams besides those two. I don't really care who wins besides those 2 teams. So the Bills, the drive before, they were losing 26-23, and Josh Allen throws a gorgeous ball to Stephon Diggs, who I have in my fantasy team. I was very, very stoked. Threw a dime to Stephon Diggs for a touchdown, put the Bills in the lead 30-26 with 34 seconds left in the game. And then, of course, here comes Kyler Murray, which I have on my fantasy team as well. Of course, I have Kyler Murray as well. So, but I didn't want Kyler Murray to do good. I already smoked this guy. I had him beat after the 1 o'clock games, and if I don't know if you guys know, this was a 4 o'clock game, so I already had him beat. So Kyler Murray could have got me 0 points. He could have got me negative 20, and I would have won. I was killing this guy. But then Kyler Murray goes down the field and throws an incredible 50-plus yard bomb to DeAndre Hopkins with 3 guys on him, and those 3 guys included Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde, and Jordan Poyer. 3 elite defensive backs on D-Hops. Kyler Murray threw it on the run after avoiding a sack, threw it on the run, 50-plus yards to DeAndre Hopkins, who was triple covered by 3 phenomenal defensive backs. And Kyler Murray threw it in the perfect spot, and D-Hops came down with the most impossible catch, maybe besides Odell Beckham's catch, and that might have been more impossible than that. It was a phenomenal play, even though I was devastated the Bills lost that game. It's still stunning play to watch, and granted, I don't like hearing people talk about it because it would turn out to be a Bills loss, and the Bills looked like they were going to win that game. Like I said, 34 seconds left of the game, and they just took a 4-point lead, but phenomenal catch. That was the best live catch I've seen game watching live. Right, not in person, but just live in general. Like the OBJ catch, I didn't watch that game live. It was a Monday night. I was a young kid. I went to bed. I did not see that catch until the next morning, and that was because my dad told me about it. How much I love football. My dad told me about that catch. So, yeah. That was the best catch I've seen live. Like Megatron made some phenomenal catches. Crazy Hail Mary plays by Aaron Rodgers. Actually, I might have seen one of Aaron Rodgers' crazy Hail Mary plays live too. That was also very fun to watch. But besides that, recent memory, best catch I have seen live in watching live. Phenomenal catch, phenomenal game. All right, now let me just talk about other crazy things about football. I'm not gonna go into any more specific games of this week, because I only watched the Giants game, which was very fun. Giants are 3-7, looking to win their division, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I'm just going to talk about overall NFL, right? So the AFC has been a little shocking, right? Not crazy shocking, I don't think, but a little shocking. There's been things that I didn't, that actually I was thinking, but not quite everything of what I've been thinking has been going to plan, right? All right, so I knew the Steelers were good. Thought they were a wild card team. The Steelers are a lot better than what I thought. They are the only undefeated team left in the NFL. I do not think they're the best team in the NFL still, but they are the best team in the NFL. I mean, best record right now at 9-0, and they are way better than I thought they were. I did not think they were a 9-0 team. Still don't really think they are a 9-0 team, to be frank. I don't think they are. I think they have slid through a few games, but they are 9-0, and you can't take nothing away from being 9-0. They have a couple tough games. The Ravens, they still have to play again, but the Ravens are down. I think they're down 3 games. The Steelers are looking in very good shape to win the division, especially because the Steelers, I think I was looking, they have like 2 tough games, maybe 3. They have the Bills and they have the Ravens again, and besides that, off the top of my head, I think they might play the Colts. So they got most of their tough games out of the way already. They already played the Titans. They already played the Ravens once, got the win. So they've played tough teams already. So their schedule is pretty favorable for the year out. So I only see 2, maybe 3 tough games ahead. And if they just win one of those 3 tough games, I'm pretty sure a lock for the division. Now they might get upset by a team that is not good. They did not look good against the Cowboys 2 weeks ago, and after Dak's injury, which was awful. It was an awful injury. I feel bad for Dak, and I'm a Giants fan. I feel bad for Dak and the Cowboys off of that injury. That injury was horrific. But the Steelers looked bad, not good against the Cowboys. They were able to pull it off, and that's really all that matters for a good team. You can struggle against a bad team, but if you find ways to win, you're a good team still. So I'm not going to take nothing away, but they looked bad against possibly the 2nd or 3rd worst team in the NFL after the loss of Dak Prescott. No, excuse me. After Dak Prescott. So the Steelers are a little surprising. Baltimore is worse than I expected. I expected them to be the 14-2 and possibly 15-1. I thought they were the best team in the NFL going into the year. At least maybe not the best team. I still thought the Chiefs were really good, and I thought the Bucs were really good. I thought the Bucs were overrated a little bit. I thought the Bucs were going to lose some games. I thought they were like a 10-6 team. They still might turn out to be better than a 10-6 team. So I think the Bucs are going to reach my expectations, but we'll get to the NFC later. But the Ravens, they're a little worse. They're 6-3 at the moment. They just lost to a not so good Patriots team. I'll talk about the Patriots in a minute. But yeah, so the Ravens are a little bit worse. They also lost a close game to the Steelers and got annihilated by the Chiefs. I thought the Ravens were the best team in the NFL. At least going to be for the record wise. I did not have them going to the Super Bowl in the postseason. I had the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl the whole time, and I still have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. I'll get to the Chiefs in a minute. They are by far, by a lot, the best team in the NFL. But yeah, no, they were a little bit worse than expected. What else can I say? Browns, about where I thought they were going to be. I thought they were a playoff, possibly a wild card team on the crisp though. They're a good team. They might narrowly miss out on the playoffs, and that looks like right around where they're at. They're either going to be, I think, the 7th seed in the playoffs or just miss it by a spot. Now, what's going on right now with the AFC? You have the division leaders, right? And that's probably going to be the Steelers at this point. The Titans or Colts. Look, Colts got favored after they got a Thursday night win against the Titans. So, but Steelers, Titans or Colts. Then you have most likely the Bills, but possibly the Dolphins and the Chiefs. Right? You have those 4, and then you have three playoff teams this year, which is looking like that's going to be the Raiders, the Dolphins, and the Ravens, actually. So that they're 7. But the Browns and the Titans or the Colts, one of those they're like right up there to get that 7th seed, right? So Browns are right where I thought they were going to be. Bengals are too. Bengals are like 2-5-1, 2-6-1. I don't know their exact record. I think they're 2-6-1. They just came off a bye and they got smacked by the Steelers last week. The Bengals are about right where I thought they were. They are a bad team, but Joe Burrow is elevating the team to do better than what they were last year. That's pretty much exactly how it has been going. So Steelers are better than I thought. Ravens worse than I thought. Other two about the same. All right. Now let's go to the AFC South. Colts, a little bit worse than I thought. I thought they were a very elite team and going to make a good Super Bowl run. They're not going to make a Super Bowl run, I could tell you that. They're going to make the playoffs, I think, and I was right on that, which I felt good about that, though, in the beginning of the season. I don't think they're going to make a Super Bowl run. They're a little bit worse than I thought. Titans are about the same, to be honest. I said they were a good team, probably going to get a wild card spot. That's kind of what it's looking like. It looks like they're going to get a wild card spot. They're a good team. They're not a great team. They're going to be all right. Jaguars, I said, were an absolute disaster. That's exactly what they are. They are, like I said, probably the 2nd worst team in the NFL. They are a disaster. Texans, I said before the season, actually, I don't know if I said it, but I've been thinking it. I've been pretty right on the Texans. The Texans, if anything, are still a little bit worse than what I thought because I was hesitant. When they traded off D-Hops, I had no hope for the Texans this year. As soon as they traded off D-Hops, I had no hope for the Texans. Right? I like Deshaun Watson, so I was hesitant in saying how bad they were. I think I was thinking around 6-10, 5-11 to 5-11 to 7-9. Right? That's what I was thinking. They're probably gonna fall in that range, probably. I'm not sure though. The Texans might fall below that. They're probably a little bit worse still than what I expected, but I knew that team was a mess. Their defense, not good. The only good part about that team is Deshaun Watson, and they have an okay receiving core, and like Kenny Stills. I think they have Brandon Cooks, and Kenny Stills, Brandon Cooks, and Will Fuller. So it's an okay receiver core. It's a pretty good receiver core. And Deshaun Watson. That's the only good parts on that team. They got rid of Bill O'Brien. So if they get a really good coach like the Chiefs offensive coordinator, I'm not even going to try to say his name because I'm going to say him wrong. If they get him next year for a head coach, that team might go up there again more closer to 8 or 9 wins. But that team has a tough roster. It needs a lot of fixing. And I don't even think they have a first-round pick. And they do not even have a first-round pick this year. That pick's going to go to the Dolphins. So they are in tough shape. Let's go. Bills, about right where I thought they were going to be. Maybe a tad worse. I didn't expect the offense to be as good. The offense is better than what I expected. The defense is worse than what I expected. They're so average out. They're around the same what I thought. I think they're going to win the division still, and they're going to be good. Now the Patriots, they are way worse than I thought they were going to be. The Patriots, I'm not going to say are a bad team. I would have said that after they almost lost the Jets. But they're an okay team. They're not great. They just beat the Ravens last night, so they're obviously not awful. They can beat a good team, but they can also lose to a really bad team. They're okay. They're 4-5. That record is just a definition of an okay record. They're an okay team. The Dolphins are better than what I expected, but I was saying this right from day one. Sorry, I'm thirsty. But day one, I said this offseason, I've been saying, watch out. The Dolphins could sneak into the playoffs. And they are looking like they're going to sneak into the playoffs. They're not even sneaking in, actually. They are a solid playoff team right now as we speak. And I said this. I told this to my friends. He was kind of hesitant on it. He said, I'm going to give the Dolphins a year or two. I'm like, and I tell him now. That's why I said about the Cardinals too, which I'm going to talk about. I've been pretty right on the Cardinals so far. I'm sick of saying I'm going to wait for a year for this team. Every time we say that, the team just pops. The Bears, they got Khalil Mack. Oh, let's wait a year or two so that defense can mold. 12-4 that year. 49ers, let's wait a year or two. Bam, Super Bowl. Oh, Jaguars, let's wait. AFC Championship, almost the Super Bowl. Probably should have went to the Super Bowl with the Eagles. So I'm sick of saying, let's wait. And that's kind of what my mindset was for the Dolphins and the Cardinals this year. By the way, that 2 weeks, like a week or two ago, when the Dolphins played the Cardinals, phenomenal game that was, into overtime. No, so Dolphins, I said, I think they're on the verge of a playoff team. I think they could sneak in. I don't think they're quite there, but I think they could sneak in. They're better than I expected. I thought they were going to sneak in. Right now, they are a solid playoff team, and they're not even sneaking their way in at this point. Let's go to the AFC West now. Chiefs, they're better than I expected, and I already thought they were one of the best teams in the NFL. I thought they were going to go to the Super Bowl, and they're still better than expected. That's all I'm going to say. Raiders, better than expected. I thought they were a fine team. I thought they were an okay team. I thought they were like a 5-11 to 7-9 team. I thought they were kind of not great. John Gruden knows what he's doing. I underestimate, I think, what Henry Ruggs brings to this team, and Josh Jacobs is playing out of his mind right now. I'd put him probably this year the third best running back, only behind Alvin Kamara and Dalvin Cook this year that's been healthy. Probably fourth, maybe fifth. Fifth if combined when everyone's healthy. He's like right up there. Josh Jacobs is one of the best running backs in the league, and the Raiders are really good. The Raiders are another solid playoff team. I think we have the 7 playoff teams with the Steelers, the Ravens, the Colts or Titans, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and the Raiders. I think those are the 7 playoff teams at this time. The Browns or the Titans could probably steal a spot though. The Chargers are better than what I expected. They're still not good. They're just because Justin Herbert, I didn't think Tyler Taylor was going to do nothing great, and I don't think he would have watching the first couple games with Tyrod. But Justin Herbert is phenomenally so much fun to watch. But yeah, they're still better than what I expected. I thought they were one of the worst teams going into the league. They're still, they're still not great. They still are in the bottom of the team. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. They're one of the better worst teams, which I did not think was the case coming the beginning of the season. Broncos are worse than what I expected, but they also dealt with a lot of injuries. Lost Von Miller, lost Courtland Sutton. They also had other injuries for a while. They lost Drew Lock. That hurt some of his development. They're doing worse than expected, but that's my thoughts on the Broncos. Now let's go to the NFC. How have my thoughts been on the NFC? Packers, better than expected. I thought they were a good team. I thought they could have possibly lost the division. But no, they're a fine team. They're a really good team, actually. They're really good. One of the best teams in the NFC. They're going to make a deep playoff run. Minnesota Vikings, worse than expected, but they're still not bad, and they still might be able to make a playoff push. I think it's unlikely at this point. I don't think they make the playoffs. I think we got the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Cardinals making it in the NFC West. I think we have an NFC East slugfest. A really bad team's going to make it in the NFC East. And you have the Saints, the Bucs, and the Packers. So I don't think the Vikings quite get it. But that team, after having... And that's just because of a really awful start they had. The Vikings had an awful start to the season. Looked absolutely horrific. The Vikings are not a bad team. And they're finally starting to find their mojo. It's just it's probably a little too late. So worse than expected because I thought they were the team that might have been able to dethrone the Packers this year. But yeah. Bears. Around average. To be honest, in the beginning of the season, I didn't know what to think of the Bears. The Bears could have been an awful team. The Bears also had the ability to go 10-6 to 12-4. I mean, the Bears literally, their range of what they could be this year was one of the worst teams to one of the best teams. I really had no expectations. I guess they're doing average. They're around the middle of the pack. Lions. I'm going to say they're doing average for me. They got 4-5 record. They're not a great team, though. I guess I think they're a little bit worse than I thought. I thought they were I thought the Bears were probably the worst team in the NFC North, and I thought the Lions were actually pretty solid and were going to upset a lot of teams. Not be a playoff team, but be a good, bad team, right? And that's pretty much where they're at, and they're just doing it in a little bit worse fashion than I thought they would. I thought the Lions would have upsetted some good teams, which they haven't been doing. They're just kind of beating the bad teams. So that kind of solidifies where they're at, a good, bad team, I guess. But yeah, that's the NFC North. Let's go to the NFC South. Saints. I can't even remember what I thought because my thoughts on the Saints have swung so much around for the Saints. I can't remember if they're actually doing what I thought. I remember in the beginning of the season, I guess it was going to be a close run for the division between the Saints and the Bucks. I guess the Saints are around what I expected, same as the Bucks. I said the Bucks, I think people were overhyping. I thought the Bucks were a good team. They can make a Super Bowl run. They have the best roster in the NFC. They have the best roster. I don't know if that's necessarily the best team, but they have the best roster. But yeah, I guess the Buccaneers are on average too. I said they were a 10-6 playoff team. I think that's about what they're going to turn out to be. Let's go to the Falcons. Oh, they're worse. They're way worse. I said they were the dark horse team to make a playoffs and possibly a Super Bowl run. That has not been the case in the slightest. They have been a bad football team. Their coach, Dan Quinn, has been fired. I don't know who their interim is. I have not took the time to remember their name because they're just going to hire a new coach in the offseason anyways. Panthers, better than I thought. I thought the Panthers were also like the Chargers, one of the worst of the worst. The Panthers are like the Chargers, I think one of the better bad teams. Actually, the Chargers are an okay bad team. The Panthers are the best bad team in the league. They're bad. They're not great, but they can compete with anyone, especially when Christian McCaffrey comes back. Christian McCaffrey missed this week when they got annihilated by the Bucks. But when he was in against the Chiefs, that came down to a missed 60-plus yard field goal. It was a massive field goal that the Panthers kicker had to try to make. And it came down to that against the Kansas City Chiefs, who I think are by far the best team in football. So Panthers are a good football team. They're better than I expected. They're still not great. Let's go now to the NFC East, the slugfest. Okay, Cowboys, worse than expected. Granted, they lost Dak Prescott, their franchise quarterback. Now, I was wrong on Dak Prescott, though, I will say. I thought Dak Prescott was... I always said he was good. I didn't think he was great. After seeing how bad his team is without him, he's a great quarterback. He deserves a lot of money. I still think he's stupid for turning down $100 million guaranteed. If you get $100 million guaranteed, you are set for life, and your kids are set for life. You take that. I still think he's not. I still criticize him for turning down $100 million guaranteed, but he deserves a lot of money. The Eagles are worse than expected. I thought they were a good team. I thought them and the Cowboys were actually solid teams that could make Super Bowl pushes if they got hot late in the year. I guess the Eagles kind of still could, but they're not good. The NFC East is going to send a team to the playoffs with like 6 wins. 5 or 6 wins, I think the NFC East team is going to make the playoffs at 5 or 6 wins. And to be honest, we're going to talk about this team. The Giants right now are honestly looking like one of the better teams to do that. It's looking between the Giants or the Eagles to me that are going to be that team that wins the NFC East and goes to playoffs that are just bad. The Giants are not a good team. They're better than expected because I thought the Giants were going to have like 3 wins, especially as soon as Saquon got hurt. All my big expectations for the Giants were done. I actually had the Giants on a 6-win team, which that's might where they turn out. But still better than expected because that 6 immediately dropped as soon as Saquon went out for the year. That 6 wins was with Saquon. The Giants, I think, are at 4 wins right now, easily winning our division with Saquon Barkley still healthy. We finished. I think the Giants would have finished, beat the Bears. They would have finished and beat the Eagles first time. Might have beat the Bucks on Monday or Sunday Night Football. It was a Monday Night Football they played. Because the Giants barely lost that without Saquon. I think they make that comeback against the Bears. So the Giants have like 3 more wins right now, and the Giants already have 3 wins. So the Giants would have like 6 wins, I think, with Saquon Barkley, and I think they are easily the best with Barkley. And right now, I think they have the edge to win the division at 3-7. I know it's stunning. The Giants start off 1-7, and I think now they're 3-7. I think they're favored to win the division. To be honest, they're 3-2 in their division. Beat Washington twice, split with Philadelphia, and then lost to Cowboys once. And they're going to play the Cowboys again, which I think they're going to beat without Dak Prescott. The Joe Judge is doing a great coach, really phenomenal coach for the New York Giants. Their defense is playing phenomenal, and Daniel Jones looks like he's slowly improving, which will help our offense in the long run. What the Giants have to do, as the Giants are set up, to playing not explosive offense, just safe offense. Drive the ball down the field, slow, methodical drives, and the defense has to get the other team's offense off the field. That's what the Giants are. They're takeaway football. We'll take the ball away, and we're gonna play keep away from the defense and just burn you out on offense. Have long 8-minute drives that will just make your defense tired, and our defense is going to get your offense off the field. That's the type of play the Giants have to play, and I think they're starting to do that. And as long as Daniel Jones stops the turnovers, the Giants, I think, are going to win this division. The Washington football team's right where I thought they were. It looks like they were going to be better than that after Week 1. They came out and beat the Eagles, but they're right around. They're a bad team. But now let's go to the NFC West, the last division, and this will wrap up the video. Seahawks, right where I thought they were going to be, kind of. Actually, they're slightly worse. I thought they were going to win the division. I thought they were going to win the division pretty convincingly. I thought it was going to be a close one with the 49ers. I'm going to get into the 49ers in a minute. I thought the Seahawks were the best team in the NFC West. I thought they were probably, actually, because of Russell Wilson, the best team in the NFC in general. The only teams giving him maybe a struggle, I thought, would maybe the Saints or the Bucks, which is still kind of true, actually. Just a package are in the mix, too. They're okay, though. I'm not even fully convinced they're going to win their division. They're not winning this moment as we speak. They're not winning their division at this moment as we speak right now. The Cardinals, right where I thought they were going to be. I thought they were a good team, a playoff team. I thought they were this year. I thought Kyler Murray was good and had faith in the defense is doing worse than I thought. I thought the defense was going to be doing better, but the offense is right where I thought it was going to be. The Cardinals, I think, are doing a slightly better, I guess, but not really. They're 6-4. They're kind of right where I had them. I thought they were a 10-6, 11-5 team, and we're going to make the playoffs. That's kind of where they're at. Rams, slightly better. I thought they could have maybe sneaked in the 7 seed with like a 9-7 record. Didn't think it was going to happen because I thought the Bucks were going to steal a playoff spot, or the Saints were going to steal a playoff spot. So I thought the Rams were going to be the team in the NFC West that would have been out because I thought the 49ers were going to make it in the beginning of the year too. So the Rams, I guess, are slightly better than what I expected. Rams, though, I knew were a good team. Still had complete faith in Sean McVay. So I still thought it was a good team, even though they missed last year. People don't realize the Rams were not a bad team last year. They were unfortunate, and a 9-7 team usually makes the playoffs. They were 9-7 last year, and they happened to miss out on the playoffs. I knew they weren't bad. I knew they were kind of on the verge of the playoffs. They're doing slightly better than expected. I think they're a solid playoff team. 49ers are obviously way worse than expected. I thought they were 12-4, 13-3, and still possibly losing their division. They're going to lose their division. They're by far the worst team in their division this year. But that's just due to injury. I mean, you started the season not with Deebo Samuel, not with another receiver. I can't remember. I think it was Brandon Ayuk was out for a while. He's back now. Brandon Ayuk looked good against the Saints this past week. Jimmy G got hurt during the season. So did Jimmy Garoppolo. Nick Bosa went down. Solomon Thomas, another first-round defensive lineman, went down. I mean, injuries plagued the Niners. I'm pretty sure Richard Sherman went out for a couple weeks. I don't even know if he's back in. So I guess I haven't been following football as much as I have previous years, but I'm still following a bit. But they're just so injury-plagued, so I don't even care that I'm wrong that much on the Niners. You can't predict injuries, and they've just been injury-plagued, and they're going to miss the playoffs because of it. They're still a really good team, and if they had everyone, they would still make a push for the playoffs. They're that good with people healthy, but they're just injury-plagued, and it's so hard to overcome these injuries, and I think Kyle Shanahan's actually doing a fairly decent job on doing that with all the injuries. But that's football. I just call you guys up on football. I'm kind of telling you my thoughts and where I've been wrong and right about every single team, all 32 teams. But yeah, so that's it. That's this video. I was going on for a long time. Can't wait to see how long this video is going to be. And see you all next time. And stay tuned for a fun video. It's just going to be talking about movies, TV shows, and books. I'm going to drop that hopefully later this week. Hope you all enjoyed. See you all next time. Peace out, y'all.